Hi, I'm Matt. This is the first in a new series of blog entries on songwriting. Twice a week, I'll point out some sort of technique or tool from the songwriter's bag of tricks. Often you'll find me using the songs of Jonathan Colton for the examples. He licenses his songs under Creative Commons, which means people like me can use them for non-commercial purposes without having to ask him. Thanks, Jonathan. I'm a fan of his songwriting since his style draws from some of my favorite bands. Today we'll focus on a common harmonic technique. If you know traditional music theory, you'll be familiar with the concept that the 5 or 5/7 chord wants to resolve to the 1 chord. It builds tension so that when the song gets back to the 1 chord, it feels more important, like it's arrived someplace. A common usage of this is during the build-up to a chorus. One example of this is in Twist and Shout as recorded by the Beatles. Twice during the song, there's a stacked part like this. It goes, ah, 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 and they stack the vocals, and they are building that 5/7 chord. That 5/7 chord builds tension so that when the song finally gets back to the 1 chord, it feels like it's really arrived someplace. It feels much bigger than it would otherwise because it hangs out for such a long time on that 5 and the voices build up that 7th harmony. Now Jonathan Colton adds some extra nuance to this idea by not just hanging out on the 5, but by switching between 4 and 5 back and forth during the pre-chorus. There's 2 songs that use this technique that I am using for this example. One is The Future Soon and the other one is Skull Crusher Mountain. So in The Future Soon, you've got this part. Well, I know that's for that I'll forget the look of pity in her face when I'm living in my solar dome on a platform in space. Well, it's gonna be the future soon. And that beginning of the chorus, that's where it lands back on 1 after going 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 1. The other song that I'll show you today of his that uses that same technique is Skull Crusher Mountain. During the part towards the end of the verse, his appearance is quite disturbing, but I assure you he's harmless enough. He's a sweetheart, calls me master, and he has a way of finding pretty things and bringing them to me. Oh, and I'm so, and so on. This technique is useful for moments like pre-choruses to build up the payoff in the chorus or any place else where you want to set up an important moment.